everybody? It's your boy, Hard Conversation.
I might sneeze.
We are back. So as you guys know in the last video, this guy was not here. He was out with his family. He took a little road trip, but he's back now. We back on our shit. It is Wednesday, so you guys know what time it is. First off, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to all of our, not subscribe to all of our, but you know what I'm saying. Follow us, Instagram, follow us on Twitter, man. Follow, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. Just follow us, essentially. If you want that real NBA talk, man. So it is Wednesday. We are back with another video. Thank you guys for everybody viewing the videos, sharing them. It really helps us out a lot. So if you guys can share the videos, that's awesome. Thumbs up the videos. Any of your friends that debate or know sports, they like basketball, NBA stuff, put them on our channel, guys. I can guarantee you they're going to be excited about what we're doing. So we got a bunch of shit to talk about today, so let's just dive in. What we doing? What we doing, Ice Knees?
Talk about the looming rumors rocking around the NBA, man. A lot of stupidity, man, going on. First thing we get into is about the most obvious one. Would be the Dwayne Casey situation, right? You know, you see Shaq and Chuck argue about it.
That was funny, by the way. If you guys haven't saw that, please go watch that video. It's pretty hilarious. Shaq and Chuck arguing.
Man, they were arguing about the situation. Now, I agree with, you know what I'm saying, if you haven't seen it, Shaq was talking about the baby and the treatment of players. And Shaq was saying that you have to have Chuck was saying that you have to have a great relationship with your superstars. I absolutely believe both of their points, right? You know what I'm saying? The NBA is
They both made good points.
This is why a lot of teams are not doing as good as they're supposed to do, because the coaches are not really able to coach. And the first time they make a decision that is best for, you know what I'm saying, the team, if the best player doesn't like it, then they pretty much out the door. Look what happened to David Fizdale. Took a trash team to the playoffs, great record while he was there, and then, you know what I'm saying, he just got
him and
Marc Gasol got into it. Marc Gasol ain't worth 2 nickels and a piece of corn. They're crazy, but you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so with the Dwayne Casey thing, man, I think personally I wouldn't want him to get fired. That's stupid, you know what I'm saying?
He's going to win Coach of the Year. You don't win Coach of the Year and then get fired a week later.
Yeah, that's got to... First coach in history to win Coach of the Year and then be fired.
That'd be crazy. So, and I think even the owner of Toronto said they're not really. Oh no, that was about something else. That was about the players. Never mind. Yeah, but go back to his point. I can see both Chuck's and Shaq's case as far as players being babied as opposed to, Chuck was, and I think Shaq didn't understand where the angle Chuck was coming from. He may have, Chuck isn't that eloquent with his words. He's not a great talker.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
He talks a lot.
He talks a lot, but a lot of shit he be saying be a bunch of, you got to decipher, you got to read between the lines. Exactly, when it comes to Chuck. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, Chuck? Donuts or basketball? But
I think Shaq ego.
That too, but I think once again, Shaq just kind of jumped off a cliff. He didn't really sit back and process what Chuck was trying to say. And then Kenny,
I think he just really wanted to be right.
He just really wanted to be right.
And his way of backing it up was, I'm an NBA champion.
I'm an NBA champion.
And Kenny, normally, always plays the mediator.
Yeah, and that's what he did. So, but I understand their both points. Shaq was saying that you can't coddle an NBA, an all-star player. He's not getting it done in a big game like that. You're just not getting it done, which is true. Because you can't just leave them out there for their ego's sake if they're not helping the team.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, Chuck was saying that he could have gone about it a bit differently. You know what I'm saying? That's really what he was saying.
That was probably the most competitive game. Other than the game one, but I think he made the right decision by putting him on a bench. He wasn't doing anything. Plus, we have heard the reports that he came out with mental illness. Maybe the moment was just too big for him.
Yeah. Shout out to DeMar too. I don't think any less of him as a player. I don't think anybody should. You take your lumps and hopefully you learn from him, and he uses this as motivation next year. To get better. You know what I'm saying? You got to take your ass with him sometimes.
Every generation you have regular season players and you have playoff performers. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying, fine line between those guys.
Yeah.
The Eastern Conference, period, don't have too many playoff performers, period.
So,
but you know what I'm saying? So
there's that. And then we want to keep moving on, keep this rolling. So in the same vein as we were talking about Toronto, we might as well stay there. There's been this rumor ever since they got swept by the Cavs. Obviously, it's a rumor because they got swept. If they were still playing right now, I doubt the rumor would even exist. But they're talking about maybe breaking up breaking up the Raptors after the season, maybe getting rid of DeMar, maybe shipping
that
off Kyle Lowry.
That rumor more started to try to support LeBron of how much more great he is, but that rumor has been killed in 2 seconds. They like, we're not doing no rebuilding
was it the
here.
owner? Was the owner came
the
out?
owner
Somebody
was
said,
like, ain't nobody doing no tanking.
We don't do the tanking
doing all
thing,
that. So you ain't tanking. You gonna keep saying
you got to keep saying players you got, and they got some good pieces. They got a good team around them. They just have to figure out a way to get over that hump. Sometimes it takes either you getting another piece, maybe you doing something different.
Maybe a big or a guy who could just alleviate the pressure off of Kyle and DeMar.
And then honestly, it's no point in moving somebody like Kyle Lowry. First of all, Kyle Lowry's like 30 some odd, 31, 32. He's not getting any younger at this point. So
and he's worth $1 trillion.
Exactly. He has a fat contract, which nobody else is gonna. Yeah, nobody else is. Now people will probably take DeMar's contract because he's still fairly young and he's really good and he's getting better. He's improved every season. Kyle Lowry, on the other hand, he's a little older. He's consistently hasn't been good in the playoffs, so I don't think there's less a chance somebody's going to take his contract because they know that he's 30 some odd years old. Who knows if his best years are ahead of him, behind him? Who knows? He doesn't play well. He doesn't play well in the playoff or hasn't in the playoffs consistently. So that'd be a tougher contract to take on. But I doubt it happens just because the owner came out and said, we're not doing that. We're not tanking. We don't believe in that tanking shit. So we just
I can see the fire. But the breaking the team up, nah.
Yeah. I can see them moving other people maybe.
They're probably spinning into how great LeBron is. He's the first person to ever get a Coach of the Year. It says you know how to spin doctors. But yeah, moving right along. Another rumor, we hear that Paul George has removed his daughter from schooling in Oklahoma City. And you know what I'm saying?
And we just saw right now he had surgery on his knee.
Knee surgery, trash ass nigga. He got carried, so I don't understand how he was doing all this. Well, anyway, so my man took his daughter out of school out there, so most likely he's pretty much done in Oklahoma City. We have no clue where he wants to go. We're pretty much sure he probably most likely want to go to the Lakers.
But I don't.
But as a Laker, if you're a Laker fan,
I don't know.
Do you really want to Paul George?
I know, because you have such a nice young core right now.
The best thing you can do is let those guys develop. Like Brandon Ingram just hooked up with Oladipo's trainer. Came out today. And y'all seen what he did for my man Oladipo with the body transformation and the game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm always, my man's never on the same page.
Look, don't even start with me.
He don't have as much time as I do to do this. So, yeah, my man hooked up with Victor Oladipo trainer, and he changing guys' lives out there. So, Brandon Ingram, look for him to have a breakthrough season. For me personally, because I feel like that's some good correlation in there. With a trainer putting them on the right regiments and stuff like that. So, I feel like Brandon Ingram will have a great season. LiAngelo Ball coming to this. I hope the fuck not.
Stop it. But anyway, if PG does leave once again,
I know y'all heard my man LeVar Ball get on that damn TV and say that somebody was like, "What? You don't think that he would have to take a backseat if Kawhi came?" Like, heck no. Like, so you think Lonzo's better than Kawhi? He was, of course. I was like, this man high. He drunk.
Listen to LeVar. I can only defend LeVar up to a certain point. I get it having utmost confidence in your kids.
Like, what Kawhi come do? Lonzo make everybody better except himself right now. We have to see him get better.
Yeah, we got to see him individually get better.
Somebody better, you have to.
He does. He has to. I think he meant just the intangibles Lonzo
They
had.
tried to credit him being there with Brandon Ingram's success level. Brandon Ingram played his best when your man's was out the lineup. And I'm
a Lonzo fan too. I believe in Lonzo.
But
you know what I'm saying?
It's just LeVar, man.
LeVar crazy. But like I was saying about PG, back to the topic at hand. We don't know where he's going.
But he's out of there.
We don't.
Most likely.
I don't know if he's still leaving. I mean, honestly, who knows at this point? Because if Russell just left with Melo, I don't know what the fuck gonna happen. I don't know what they're gonna do. But honestly, Paul George.
I think that'd be better because I think you can ISO more. It wouldn't be so many, he wouldn't get so cold because it would only be two of them niggas.
But anyway, that's not an upgrade. Is what I'm saying. You didn't get any better.
That's an upgrade from that team. You can't get no worse than that team with that type of talent. You can't get no worse.
At the end of the day,
without them niggas won one less game.
Yeah, so true. Good point. Good point.
They
but
can't go too further down.
True, but I mean, like I said, it's not an upgrade at the end of the day.
I really want Billy Donovan going. Can we just bring? They already signed my coach. I was looking for David Fizdale, man, but he's out of there. Mark Jackson. Go get my man Mark Jackson. Get Billy Donovan out of there. Look what he did with the Thunder. We got Milli Vanilli over there and Steve Kerr, who just taking credit for what Mark Jackson started. I'm joking. You know,
that was more so management.
They actually
and
featured.
the owner.
Actually, he kind of didn't play Draymond the way that Steve Kerr is playing him, so he didn't feature Draymond, which is one of the most pivotal pieces.
Yeah.
You know,
so anyway, like I was saying about PG, this nigga keep cutting off this OKC ass nigga over here. Anyway, don't even live in Oklahoma. Anyway.
Might as well.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's a rumor been floating around. People, even before the year started, people were assuming that he was going to go to the Lakers and he wasn't going to stay when, because before he even went to OKC, everybody was thinking, okay,
championship or he got it
Lakers.
there, and they won't win it.
So they didn't win no championship this year. So man, there's a high case that he is going. Who knows where he's going? But
last rumor. It's the stupidest rumor I heard all day. Talking about old club, well, you know what I'm saying, you know, these execs get together and they talk, and they were talking about the Thunder would be better off if they were to trade, Russell Westbrook and maybe start to rebuild or get another piece, which is stupid. I mean, if you guys have ever, it's like, I don't understand with these guys, why they don't understand basketball at the same level that I do, right? You've seen a guy have success that plays similar to him in history, right? A lot smaller than them, less athletic. Why is it that you can't replicate the same thing he did? You get your rim protector, which he actually competes more on defense than Allen Iverson. Get you a guy who protect the rim, Steven Adams, who's fine. You get you guys like Alex Abrinas, who can, you know what I'm saying, shoot the ball and space the floor for him. You know what I'm saying? You keep a guy like Robertson, of course, who's going to follow him around. You just help him develop a jumper. And then you just keep guys around him that can shoot. And then you come up with a coaching system so that guys can actually score and play well when he's off the floor. So that guys are not just out there free balling. If you let a bad player figure out what the fuck they're supposed to be doing, what do you think? They're like, man, hold up, man. I ain't qualified to do all this.
I agree on one hand, but I have a whole different take on it. I'm a Russell Westbrook fan, but at the same time, how many times do you play around with the lineup before they win something significant? How many times? Now, this is the first year he hasn't had KD. Well, second year he hasn't had KD. Sorry. Second year he hasn't had KD. You went out, you got one All-Star and another guy who was an All-Star previously. The expectations were very high. They didn't meet the expectations. Okay. Yeah. So, honestly, you gotta. It boils down to what is Russell gonna do, and is he finally going to? It's not only just a coach. I mean, you do. Billy Donovan's a babysitter. He doesn't do much. He doesn't have a system. But you gotta have the player. That he's the guy. He has to figure out a way to get whoever you bring in involved. You know what I'm saying? He's never had a problem passing the ball or anything like that, and he can create and do things like that. It's just the fact that there is a Russell Westbrook issue. I don't fuck what nobody says. Whether it be his mentality, the way he played, he has to make an adjustment for them to succeed at some point. Because his play style is great to watch. He plays harder than anybody else in the NBA, but it doesn't equate to winning if you don't have the pieces around you. Now, they can go get him the pieces, but he does have to mentally make some adjustments himself. I think, in my opinion, that's what needs to happen, on top of the fact that they may need to do some of the things like you said, put different people around him, get him a system, because he's never really played in one. He's never had a coach who's going to, besides Scott Brooks, but he got fired, that's going to hold him accountable for the things that he does. When Russell's going 100 miles an hour and the game doesn't, the team doesn't, that's not what's going to help the team at that point. You need somebody that's going to say, okay, Russ, you got to stop. Slow your ass down. I'm going to take you out for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, give you a blow, let somebody else go in and run the offense. That requires two things. The personnel to do it, and you got to have Russell buy into it. So you got to have a strong coaching figure that he's going to be able to say, okay, that's fine. I'm going to sit my ass down. This is not what the team needs right now. Or maybe I'm not playing well, but I'm still, because Russell only knows one speed. It's 100 miles an hour. That's it. He doesn't know anything different. It could be the greatest thing ever, but it could also be super detrimental to not only himself, but to the teammates around him. So he has to make some adjustments mentally for himself too. He's one of the 5 best players in the NBA. But the way he plays currently is not consistent enough to get you a championship without crazy things happening. So as much as I love Russell Westbrook, he has to take some accountability in this situation too. I don't give a fuck who they go out and get him. He has to not conform, so to speak, but he has to make some adjustments in the way he plays.
Not really.
So
they have to make adjustments to him. He's not.
Listen.
Like, you have to
all I'm saying is, I'm not saying
but it's been replicated already. It's been shown.
No,
that it can happen.
but he's not Allen Iverson. I'm sorry, he's not Allen Iverson.
He's a better version of Allen Iverson.
He's a more athletic Allen Iverson. He's a more athletic Allen Iverson. They don't even play the same way. First of all, Allen Iverson. He's a more athletic Allen Iverson.
The ball a lot, right?
He's a more athletic Allen Iverson.
He does more than Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson scored. If Allen Iverson doesn't score, what does he do? That's one of my favorite players ever. If Allen Iverson doesn't score, he doesn't.
This goes back to what me and him always talk about with LeBron James. Allen Iverson wasn't required to do those things for his team to win. He had to put the ball in the fucking hoop every single time. First of all, Allen Iverson's less than 6 feet. He's not nowhere near the athlete Russell Westbrook is.
Yes, he was. He was.
He is, but he's not.
He just wasn't. Explosive as him, but he was super.
Don't get me wrong.
He was athletic as shit.
He was athletic. What I'm saying is that like his gameplay style. Russell is like a center in a guard body, bro. He has like a center mentality.
A couple inches higher, but what I'm saying is like the only thing Russell has to do is he has to be put in a position where he can. You know what I'm saying, if you take any player, let me give you one of the best scorer in NBA right now. Have y'all ever seen Kevin Durant let loose by himself? He creates the absolute worst shots for himself. He takes these by far. If you give Kevin Durant the ball and tell him to go,
I agree with you on that point.
That's what I'm saying. So now that's Russell Westbrook all the time.
That's what I said is that. But at the end of the day, it takes two to tango. You can put the pieces around a person, but if they get to a certain situation and it's not working and they're still playing the same way, what's the fucking point of putting the pieces around them?
No, you have to do more than just you have to put a system around him.
I said that, and I agree with you on that point.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like even if you put just like with Carmelo and Paul George, they were featured absolutely wrong. Like they stood and watched Russell Westbrook, and then Russell Westbrook stood and watched them. Like they tried to be like turning each other into catch and shoot guys, which is absolutely their worst. But that's what they know how to do. They're isolation players. So if you put 3 isolation players on there, that's all they know how to do. If I'm not in isolation situation,
but
just like just like LeBron. If LeBron comes off the ball, it's pretty much a wrap, you know what I'm saying?
And I agree. I agree to a point, like I said. But I still think that it comes down to Russell Westbrook making a decision. Do I want to win? Do I not want to win? He does want to win. He want to win more than anybody else in the fucking league. He plays like it. But at the end of the day, once you get those pieces there, are you still gonna make those adjustments that are needed to be made at the end of the day for your team to be successful? Even you, the feature player on the team, it boils down to what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? When it's required to get done. You know what I'm saying? So I can put the system, I can put the P, I can even put the coach there. It's all going to facilitate that, but he still has to make a mental adjustment. Russell Westbrook is probably not the easiest person to coach. We all know that.
Yeah, that's everybody great.
So you know I'm not saying every other superstar buys in. All I'm saying is that adjustments, adjustments are needed on
Mike
both
Brown
sides of the
tried
fence.
to sit Kobe one time. Like the coaches get the worst for trying to coach. That's why you have to find a coach.
Kobe had already
that's
won
first.
5 rings at that point. He didn't really.
Yeah,
Russell ain't got a ring, so he don't have no excuse to be. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to think like these guys are not. That's not really validated when you can't bring a coach that already offers that. If you haven't won a ring and I haven't won a ring, I still have way more success than you. Like Billy Donovan, he had championships on college level, but he coming to a level where, nigga, you are nobody here. You're a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I've been to the NBA Finals. I've been playing the same way. I've been at the top, right? You know what I'm saying? So they have to bring in a coach that has a pedigree like a Mark Jackson, a guy who's not going to care, that knows how to convey it, but don't have to put it in where it's in an arrogant way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they can't have Billy Donovan going forward if that's how they're going to, like, if you put any superstar in that position with nothing around them, that's how they're going to play. Not exactly the way he plays, because he's one of a kind. Just play, like, first of all, people can't even replicate that. Like, that's kind of difficult to play that way the whole entire game, but you got to get him in a position where he has to come up and call a play. Like how Scott Brooks had. They fired him on some bull at BS. But this man had them running certain plays, pin down. They had a pin down where my guy came around where he came up off the ball. You have to get him an alternate ball handler. So who the hell else you going to get a ball to? Raymond Felton? For how long? It has to be something that fits that his greatness. Like, you can't just be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? He's a one-of-a-kind player.
Ultimately, even though we said all this shit done turned into a 20-minute video over one topic. This nigga O.K.C. for the anyway. So, ultimately, we don't think Russell Westbrook's going anywhere. I don't
know. I
think
can see it because I can see it because these gentlemen, I can see it. You know what I'm saying? Because if let's just say if they're ready to rebuild or feel like they ain't gonna get nothing out of them, and they want to trade them to a team that feel like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? We could possibly. Well, I mean, I can see it, but then I could not see it either. It's kind of hard to pull off.
Yeah.
So
So
the amount of money he worth.
with the amount of money he makes now, yeah, it's kind of difficult in that long ass contract. So, but ultimately, those are the rumors, guys, that we wanted to discuss today. That last one, this nigga right here. Anyway, that last one took a little extra time. Yeah. But anyway, guys, it's your boy Hard Conversation.
I'm I.K.H.C.
Once again, catch us every Wednesday, every Sunday, guys. Like, subscribe, follow Instagram, Twitter, man. We all on there. I do my little morning shows on Twitter in the morning. He usually runs the Instagram, so when you see niggas arguing back and forth, it's usually this guy running Instagram.
I mean, everybody comment section.
So just if you, and once again, guys, it helps us out a lot if you share the videos.
Share, like, subscribe, comment.
Comment.
What y'all want to see.
Yeah, comment. What y'all let us know what y'all want us to talk about, and we'll hit you guys up. We'll do whatever we need to do. So, man, we out of here, man. Hope you guys have a great day. See you guys on Sunday with the next video, man. Peace out.
Peace.